Hi, I'm Cheri from Roman Agency Inc. in Austin, Texas. Welcome to another segment of Insurance, Death, and Taxes. I have a question for you. Do you know where 20% of auto accidents occur? Believe it or not, they happen in parking lots. Now, before I became an insurance agent, I didn't realize how important it is to be careful when you're driving in a parking lot. Today I'm going to give you 7 tips on how to avoid parking lot accidents or what to do if you find yourself involved in one. Tip number 1, park strategically. Now, I heard an insurance adjuster say once that all of the adjusters at major insurance companies always pull through on a parking spot in a parking lot, or they back in, because they see so many accidents caused by people backing out of parking spaces and crashing. And if that happens, okay, actually both parties can be held responsible, and it can be 50-50 responsibility, which means your insurance company pays for your claim and the other party's insurance company pays for their claim. And the bad news is it goes down as an accident on your insurance policy. So when you're in a parking lot, just think where you're parking. Obviously, if you can park kind of away from the crowd, that's helpful too, but do park strategically. Now, tip number 2, avoid distractions. People in parking lots, they're not thinking a lot of times that this is a place where they're going to get in an accident. So, they're listening to music or talking on their phone or texting or whatever. But if you avoid distractions and think, this is where I'm probably most likely to get into an accident, maybe you can avoid parking lot accidents. Tip number 3, be aware and show your intentions. Now, a lot of people in a parking lot, they don't think they really need to use their turn signal, but it's very helpful when you're in a parking lot and people are coming, 2 ways, that you use your turn signal so the pedestrians and the other drivers know what you intend to do. Tip number 4, notify the police or security if possible. That's not always possible, in a parking lot, because you don't have to notify the police, and they're busy with other things and they don't always want to come out there. But if you can get security to just come and get some documentation that the accident occurred, that's very helpful when you're filing an insurance claim and when they're trying to determine who was at fault. Tip number 5, never admit fault. Now, a lot of people after an accident, especially really nice people, and so a lot of times elderly people will say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Wow, what was I thinking? I didn't see you. Don't admit fault, because that's going to be held against you. And sometimes maybe it really wasn't your fault, but if you admit it in the beginning, it's going to be hard later to say, well, it really wasn't my fault, I didn't mean it. Okay, so don't admit fault unless it's completely 100% your fault, and then probably shouldn't admit fault there either. Let your insurance company determine who was at fault. Tip number 6, find witnesses and get their contact information. Now, this can be really important later when you're talking to your insurance adjuster and they're getting a different side of the story from the guy that hit you or that you hit or whatever. So it's helpful if you have the name of a witness and you have their contact information that you can give to the insurance company. Also, if you see an accident in a parking lot, be nice and give your contact information to the 2 people that have an unfortunate parking lot accident. Tip number 7, take pictures, and lots of them. It's very helpful to have pictures of the accident, and sometimes you do have to move your car, for safety reasons. But if you can take pictures while the vehicles are in the position that they were, that speaks volumes about what really happened and who was at fault. Now, with parking lot accidents, fortunately, people are not usually hurt too bad. There are some exceptions to that. But parking lot accidents do cause your insurance rates to go up if it's determined that it was your fault, or even if it was just a 50-50 fault. So be careful in parking lots. This is where most accidents happen. I get a call on this like every single week. Well, if you have any questions about parking lot accidents or anything else, go to my website, cheriroman.com, and I'll be happy to answer your question in a future blog. Or you can just pick up the phone and give me a call, and I'll be happy to talk to you in person. I'm Cheri Roman from Roman Agency, Inc. in Austin, Texas. Thank you.